Mike, coming to you live straight from the Underground Station. And today we have a new guest. I'm just starting back, my podcast. 2020, we coming with new stuff, new energy. Yeah. So I'm excited to have you on here. Haja, like, oh my God.
I'm so glad to be here, girl. Oh my goodness.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I want you to tell the people, who is Haja?
Who is Haja? Oh,
yes.
Man. So Haja is a spoken word artist who has been off the stage, for not a long time, like 3 years, right? Took a sabbatical, and I'm back. I'm back and I'm better, and I'm just ready to work and get back on stage. Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been doing spoken word?
So I've been writing poetry since I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
Right. That was the first time I wrote a poem.
Okay.
I've always loved words. Right. So I grew up in church. So the Bible was everything to me. Right. Everything I heard all the time. So once I got to middle school, I started writing little poems here and there and all that. So from that time up until I think I did my first slam in high school. Okay. And I've been doing spoken word performances ever since 10th grade or something.
And when you say your first slam, explain that to the people.
So a poetry slam is pretty much it's a competition, right? You come in, you gotta have 3 poems, you have judges, and you're just going round for round. You put your first poem, you start with a piece that you feel is a heavy hitter. Okay. You do that, you get enough points, get to the second round, the third round, and then they pick a winner at the end. Okay. And you slam winner, that's it.
Okay, that sounds pretty dope, So you just had a birthday.
Yes, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. It was amazing.
What did you do?
So for my birthday, I went to dinner, right? I went to dinner with some friends, and then afterwards, I went to an open mic, Busboys and Poets. Yes, so it was really great. Sold out show, it was packed out. It was great. Just to have my friends and family there meant everything to me. Okay. So I had fun. It's good.
That's good. So, I want to know, how old did you turn?
I turned 23. So 23 on the 23rd. Okay. Okay. Golden year.
Turn up. Okay. Yeah. So, did you go to school, college? Anything?
Yeah. So actually, I'm a student. I go to Bowie State University. Oh. Yes. So Bowie. Okay. Bulldogs, right. So I started Bowie back in 2018. I started Bowie. So right now, got about a year and a half or so left. Okay. I'm just trying to thug it out till I get out there. Thug it out.
Take your time.
Yeah.
It's hard,
Yeah, just trying to get up out of there. I'm actually in the situation where I'm transitioning majors right now. Okay. Yeah, when you first start college, you think you know what you want, and then it's kind of no, this is not it. Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. But, so what's your major?
So originally it was social work. Okay. Started off social work, and I'm okay, yeah, but then I was I want to I just I need to do a little bit more. This is not it. So I'm transitioning over into information technology systems. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay, tech, Black women in tech. Yes. Okay, we need them.
We do. Yeah. So, I know you said you wasn't, before we started the whole interview, you said you wasn't from here. So where are you from? And what made you want to move down here?
Oh man, I didn't even want to be here, to be honest. I got kidnapped, very excited. But what happened was I was living in South Florida. I grew up in Broward County, for the most part. I lived in a lot of different places. I traveled a lot growing up as a kid. So I settled in Florida, I think maybe 2nd grade. It's the longest I've lived anywhere. I was going through a really hard time in South Florida at the time when I graduated high school. I did a show out in California back in 2016. So at that time, I was just going through a really, really hard time in my life. And my father was I need you to just come home, come up to the DMV. And I was okay, I'll come for a weekend, And I didn't have a return flight, and that's how I ended up staying here.
Oh, wow.
True story, yeah.
So do you miss it? Miss Florida?
I do, and I don't at the same time. Because honestly, I think being in the DMV has shown me that y'all are hustlers. There's it's a whole nother energy of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. South Florida, we have our our niche, but I've never seen so many talented Black young people ever like I have in the DMV. Yes. So it's something about the air of here or something. So it's it's making me want to get on my grind and just be a better version of myself.
Okay. Yeah. So I know y'all probably wondering, how did I find out about Haja? Well, I was at Busboy and Poets. I can't remember which one it was. It was one in DC.
Was it one in DC? Yeah. It was. I think it was Whiskey Girl was hosting.
Yeah. So we was there, and she got on stage, and she was just the way she spoke, oh my gosh, her energy, and just y'all have to hear it. Y'all have to hear it. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have her on my podcast. And anytime I go out and I like discover somebody, I'm like, yes. And they're pretty dope. And I'm just like, I have to have them on my podcast. Like, people have to know who you are. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yes, like, just the way you speak is just like very
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Amazing. So, your pieces are original, right? Like, you write your own stuff.
Right,
like,
edit, everything is me.
And how's your process for that?
So my writing process, honestly, is a little bit of everything. I get inspired by different situations. I get inspired by even like pictures that I see, right? So normally what I do is I have a line, like I'll be driving, like a line will come to my head and I'm just like, ooh, that's a bar. Write that down. So I'll write it down. So it's like throughout the day, throughout the week, I have like different lines will just pop up to me.
Okay.
And then I just piece them together. After I sit down, I'm just like, I need to cook this up, so I like to discover my poem. I don't ever start my poem with a title. I never do that because I let the poem write itself. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, this is what this is. Yeah, so that's pretty much my process, yeah.
And I know many times people tend to get writer's block. I tend to get that too, like when I'm writing, because I do a little spoken word.
Okay, I'm gonna be fun. Okay,
something. But how do you deal with it? Like, what do you do?
Writer's block. What do I do? I put it down, put the pen down, and I just kind of like I go do other artistic things. So yes, I love poetry and everything, but I love art. I love music and singing and paintings and just anything that's in that spectrum. So I don't limit myself just to poetry. So if I'm not finding a muse at that time, I will just I'll go to a museum or I'll go out, just sit outside, like So I'm very much like big on mental health. So like most of the time when you have a writer's block, is because there's things blocking it up. Like you can't think of anything. So what's really going on? So I take a second and I just like, Ariadne, let's take a step back. Let's reevaluate, process, and I come back to it.
Okay. So we're gonna take not even like a little break, but this is a new part that I'm inserting into my podcast. I wanted to give you guys more entertainment, so we're gonna play a little game.
Ooh, okay.
We're gonna play a little game. So it's called 5 and 5.
5 and 5.
Yes. So you have to list 5 things in 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. 5 things in 5 seconds. Like anything?
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a question. So I may be like, okay, name 5 flavors of ice cream.
Okay.
And you like chocolate. So I'm gonna go like 1.
Oh, is that the question?
No, that's an example.
I was like, wait.
That's
okay,
an example. That's an example.
All right.
So okay. So my first question is, list 5 singers that begin with the letter S, and your time starts now.
Sade, Shakira, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm like asking like, wait.
Sam Smith.
Oh my god, Sam Cooke.
SZA.
Oh my god, yes. Wait, like my mind's like, wait, hold on, I need to go back my playlist.
Okay. Next one.
Okay.
List 5 states that begin with the letter M.
Montana, Maine, Maryland, Montana. That's it. Oh my god.
Sorry, John.
Can I say this?
Okay, yeah, that was our little game.
Oh dang. Okay, I gotta come back in. We need part 2. We need a part 2. I'm gonna myself.
We're gonna have another game.
Okay.
We're gonna jump back in to the questions. So when you're performing on stage, do you get nervous?
Oh yes. Oh my god.
How you cope with that?
Oh man. Honestly, I'm still learning now, to be very honest with you. I remember the first time I got on stage, since coming back into it, I was so sick. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating, I'm nervous. But literally, what I did, I just talked to myself. I'm like, Haja, calm down, breathe, and I just did it. Like I did it scared. I did it like fearful. I did it like, what if I mess up? Like even though I had all those things, I just went ahead and just did it. you know. So whenever I'm feeling super nervous, I always like to pray before I go and do my shows and stuff. You know, church is like a super big foundation of like who I am as a person and like things that's important to me, right? So, you know, before I do a show, I'm just like, God, I give the show to you. Like, let your will be done, regardless of what happens. Hear them, let them hear my heart through this, through my poem. Yeah. And that's the mentality I go into it with. You know, whether I mess up a line, forget a line, get scared, I'm just like, God, like, thank you for even letting me get back here. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. So my next question for you is, do you have any other favorite spoken word artists, musicians, performers? Like, well, let's start with spoken word artists.
Spoken word artists, there's so many. Oh my God, there's so many talented people. There's people who are in like the Christians, Christian spectrum, and there's some secular artists. So most definitely, like I would say for my Christian artists, I love Jackie Hill Perry. Oh my God, I admire her. She's amazing, super talented woman of God. Her, Preston Perry, her husband. What's top of my head. Yeah, and then some regular artists, not regular, but some other artists, right? Some other artists will definitely have to be there's people I've worked with, right? Because like honestly, it's dope to have people that you admire, but it's another thing when like I personally like know these people, you know, so that's really dope. So definitely Will Fonch, right? Will Fonch, he's spoken word artist as well. Let me see who else is really good. There's a whole list, and I feel like I'm gonna stop right there. Like, yeah, but so far just the Perrys and you know Ezekiel as well. He's a dope artist. Like who else? Leah James, she's dope. Architect, he's dope as well. You know, yeah, I love different artists. Yeah.
So would you say that any of them are your influencers, or
I would definitely say Jackie Hill. Right. So actually, I started watching her when I first started like looking into spoken word poetry. I was like probably in high school, right? And I went on. I was watching Def Jam's poetry, and then I came across Christian poetry, right? Christian spoken word, and that was something that was so new to me. I never really seen it performed that way. So when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, like she's so down to earth. She's so chill. Like I would, you know, just like admire her, like her writing style, the way she presents herself and everything. Yeah, so definitely that's someone that I look up to as far as like, she's very intelligent, like she knows like what she's talking about, right? So I think even as a writer, I strive to be like intellectual. I strive to know, like have facts behind what it is that I'm saying, you know?
Definitely. So when you did your spoken word Christian piece.
These Christians.
Okay, These Christians. Very big on YouTube. You guys gotta check that out.
Yeah,
how was that? And was it a huge audience?
It was one of the biggest audience I've ever performed in front of, like ever.
Really?
Yes, that was actually like my okay. So P4CM, that's actually one of the stages that you know, like Jackie performed on like you know years ago. But then I realized I went over there and I went there by myself. I didn't have anyone. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I did an audition. And there's a lady that reached out to me and she was like, hey, I would love for you to come out to the show, perform, blah, blah, blah. So I went out to California. I was so scared. I was like, oh my God. And literally, I was just like, oh my God, this was my dream, right? So for me to even watch them and then to be on the same stage, I was like, this is so surreal for me. And I remember there's a woman, oh my God, her name is leaving me right now, but this beautiful woman, she had long locks, and she just like, she saw how nervous I was and she just came and held my hand. She prayed over me. She was like, listen, like, you got this. And I went up there and I was just like, okay, do not forget your lyrics. If you don't do anything else, don't forget your lines, sis. So I went over there and I just did it. And I was literally pretending like I was sitting in front of my friends and my family, you know, because the light is so bright, so you can't really see everybody, but you do see everybody up the lowest of keys, right? It was very like a humbling experience because I was like, oh my God, like I know I did this, but like I didn't bring myself here. Like, it's crazy, right? It was an amazing experience. Everything, like P4CM is a wonderful organization. It's super great.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, girl, I was so scared. I was like 19 years old. Like I was young. I was just like out there. I was like, okay. Spoken word, this is it. That was actually one of the last shows I did before I transitioned and moved out here to Maryland. So it was very interesting, you know, just to come out there and see like all the different artists that I kind of grew up watching. Right. And then to be on that stage was really dope.
Yeah. Are you looking to do more stuff like that?
Yeah, so right now I'm in a space where I'm kind of like, so it's not that I'm not abandoning Christian poetry, right? I'm not doing that. But I feel like as Christians, we're called to be a light in dark spaces, you know? So sometimes you get more out of being in a space where there are people who don't know him, you know what I mean? Coming out and like speaking your truth, but letting people know that, hey, I'm human too.
Yeah.
I bleed just like you do. I got scars like you do. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I am. I'm not saying I'm never gonna like perform in church again or anything. Like most definitely, like I'm so for it. But these poems are more like the poems that I'm coming out with are more authentic to who I am and speaks to the woman that I am right now. You know, at the time I was like 18, 19 years old, and I was, you know, super on fire for Christ and everything. And I still am. I still love God, but I feel like life experiences has, you know, molded me more, and I feel like I'm more relatable. You know?
Okay. So we're gonna move to our little second game.
Y'all, I really hope I get this game because I have to redeem myself.
So the next one is going to be guess the lyrics.
Oh God, guess the lyrics. Okay.
So basically, well, not guess the lyrics, but finish the lyrics.
Oh gosh, let me tell you something. Sis, I'm the girl on Snapchat that like never has to write lyrics. I'll be singing. I'm like, oh gosh.
Okay, so the first song is going to be I mean, I feel like after the beat, you're probably gonna know. Like,
I hope so.
I'm gonna do the beat. I'm gonna do the beat.
Okay, we doing acapella. What we doing?
You can do the first the first verse.
The first verse. Okay, of the song. Okay.
Yes.
What? Yeah, what song is that?
You don't know that song?
Wait, so you need I need more beats.
That's the beat. That's the main beat.
That's the main beat.
Yes, Roddy Ricch.
Oh, sis. No, that song. Wait, hold on. I thought you was gonna play this beat. Wait, I didn't hear this beat for real.
Okay. So I wanted to know if you could spit something to the people.
Spit something to the people.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do like a, you know, this is
Sure.
The Busboys, man. I'll do that one like that. Oh my gosh, I was gonna love it because that was actually really long. Then we just gonna give them a little smile.
Okay.
You know. All right. Yeah. My name is Haja Jadayu Sharif Haidar Raboima. And I am the furthest thing from perfection, my soul, clothed in flesh. A fallen angel thought too dope for death. I speak of detonating demons and dead languages only God could encrypt. I keep my tongue swift with kryptonite. You know the kind that made Superman hide in this cave at night. Baptized in brilliance, I trace legacies like constellations. Written not in the stars, 5 or 10 light years away. See, I am slightly right-handed, so it stays in my left palm like the Psalms. I tattoo scarred on my wrist. Slip between my lips are tales of ancient Arabic kings and queens from generations unraveling Nubian themes. To me, my conscience conspires to inspire me. Playing bass baritone through my bones, jagged edging me, sword blade switching me like they did with the whip that slashed centuries of being black on the backs of people not begging to be brown. Clown, cause I was the only girl with plaits and not pretty girl flats. See, I spoke with a Liberian twang. Instead of me saying, excuse me, may I please use the restroom, I say, people join me, man, check out open the door. Yeah, I will open up my book and let you take a look through every nook and through every cranny, because I am fully human, comprised of many different hues of women like Esther and Eve run rampant through my veins, training me to be somebody's queen someday.
Yeah. That's my favorite one. Like, oh my God. You were speaking that at Buzzword because I was like, so good. I was like,
I gotta come back out, like let them know who I am,
right.
And, you know, and everything.
Yes.
So definitely my statement piece right now.
Yes, that's good. So I wanted to know if you had like any advice to give to like any spoken word artists out there, or anybody who's just starting to write or anything.
Oh man, so anyone that's starting to write, I would definitely say like learn your voice, learn who you are. Definitely write from a true perspective, right? Don't get discouraged. Even if you've never performed before, go to open mics, get back out there. And for those people who like me, who like sat out for years, like there's no such thing as like it's too late, because your gifts will make room for you regardless of what the situation is, regardless of anything. Like, you know, the word of God, it says your talents will bring you before great men and it'll make room for you. So there's always a space for you to be a creative. There's always a space for you to make a difference in the culture. Don't think that it's too oversaturated, right? There's so many brands of bread out there. You see me? Like, there's so many people doing the same thing, but it's like everyone is different. There's so much different variety, right? So don't ever be discouraged, and just keep writing. Even if you don't got nothing to say, just think about it, sit down, write something. Even if it's one line, write it down. Yeah.
And before we wrap up, I did want to ask you, like, so you know another language?
Okay, no, I don't know another language per se, but my mother's Liberian.
Okay.
She's from, so I was born in Liberia, West Africa. My father's Guinean.
Okay.
Yeah, so in my house, like, they speak French and everything, and my family's Muslim. Okay. So, you know, there's that, and they speak Fulani and all that stuff, but I speak English, and then we have Liberian Pidgin that I speak. That's what I was doing with my my poem.
Okay, that's so.
That's what it is. So it's, yeah, really chill.
So what can the people look forward to next for you?
Oh man, there's actually a lot of things going on right now. I don't want to say anything. You know, I can't say anything right now.
Yeah.
But definitely look out for more poems. Look out for, you know, some visual projects. Look out for some merch. Look out, y'all. Look out. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let them know your social media so they can find
you. So you guys can follow me at happily_Hydera, HAIDARA. That's my last name. So happily me, y'all. Happily Hydera.
Yes.
Get plugged in, you know.
Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on the Underground Station. We appreciate you so much. You're very dope. Continue to do great things.
Thank you.
Continue to be creative.
Thank you.
Yes, so y'all, we about to wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning to the YouTube.
Okay.
It's your host, Star J, on the mic, live straight from the Underground Station. Make sure y'all stay tuned for upcoming episodes. We out.